The two players pictured have scored the most points in NBA history, and both are not considered scorers. These two players have combined for over 77,000 points. LeBron has never averaged under 20 points per game in the regular season. It took Kareem 17 seasons before he averaged under 20 points per game in the regular season. How are the two players who have scored the most points in NBA history not considered scorers? Here are two groups of players. In Group 1, we have Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Allen Iverson, Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, and Michael Jordan. In Group 2, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo, Tim Duncan, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Garnett, Dwight Howard, and Scottie Pippen. I want you to tell me what the difference between the two groups is. Once you figure out the difference between the two groups, I want you to tell me which group LeBron fits into. Okay, have your answers? Every player in Group 1 is considered an elite scorer, while those in Group 2 are not. Every NBA fan should have LeBron in Group 1, but lots of NBA fans don't. Why is this? LeBron isn't flashy enough. It's what every player in Group 2 suffers from. When we watch Group 1 play basketball, the game is never short on excitement. Each of the players in Group 1 have versatile bags. Kyrie has the greatest handle we've ever seen. James Harden has his patented step back three. AI, despite his smaller stature, continually would dance into the paint with elite dribble moves and challenge the trees. If Durant lacks a skill in the scoring department, I have no idea what it is. Kobe had one of the most lethal mid-range games. Carmelo would put a body on his defenders and make them feel his presence. And well, MJ is MJ. The problem for Group 2 is that they are too good at scoring the basketball. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Kareem had his patented unguardable skyhook. Should he be dismissed as a scorer because he scored most of his points with one move? What about Giannis and his ability to get to the rim for easy dunks and layups? Dwight Howard didn't develop much of a post game relying on his athleticism, and yet he's 55th all time in points, putting him in the top 1.5% of all NBA players with 19,485 points. Now look, I get there's a difference between a player who puts up a lot of points and a guy who can actually score the basketball. That brings us to LeBron. Is LeBron's bag as deep as some other players? No, but LeBron would have to be some type of player to have no bag but lead the NBA in all-time scoring. If LeBron isn't a scorer, why didn't the Boston Celtics just shut him down in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 2012? If LeBron's not a scorer, why did the 2018 Golden State Warriors let LeBron go for 51 points in the NBA Finals? If LeBron is not a scorer, why is he tied with the logo, the great Jerry West, with the most 40-point games in a single playoff run with 8? Boring does not equal bad. Just because a player isn't crazy flashy, that doesn't mean they can't score the basketball. It actually means the opposite. If a player only has one move or few moves, that means that the defensive game planning should be easy. The defense should know exactly how to stop that player. Yet Giannis, Westbrook, Tim Duncan, Kareem, LeBron, those guys just keep getting buckets. Let's put this in perspective. LeBron has gone on vacations with his NBA friends, the Banana Boat crew. If you add up all of the Banana Boat crew's points, they still wouldn't surpass the combination of LeBron and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We're not talking about scrubs here. We're talking about first ballot Hall of Famers. Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, D Wade, 9th all-time in scoring, 37th all-time in scoring, and 32nd all-time in scoring. Alright, but using that comparison is kind of cheating. We need to investigate further. Michael Jordan is the greatest scorer to ever play the game of basketball, but because he retired 2 times, he's not the all-time leader in points. Let's close our eyes for a second and imagine that MJ never retired. What would have happened? Would the Bulls have won 8 straight championships? Perhaps the Bulls would have lost in the NBA Finals against Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, eliminating the no losses in the finals argument Jordan fans always bring up when discounting LeBron. Or maybe MJ would currently be the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. You can open your eyes now because you no longer have to dream about what might have happened had MJ never retired. I know what would have happened. I won't bore you with the math, I'll just show you the craziness. Had Michael Jordan never retired, he would have scored 41,856 points over his career, exceeding LeBron's current all-time total. I guess that settles that. MJ is without a doubt the greatest scorer of all time, and we all know that if LeBron is second on any list behind Michael Jordan, that means he's a total failure. This just proves he isn't a scorer. But hold on a minute. If we're gonna create a dream scenario for Michael Jordan, shouldn't we do that for other all-time greats as well? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is currently second all-time in points scored in NBA history with 38,387 points in his career, and he did it while making just 1 3-pointer. Let's pretend in this dream scenario that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was even more lethal. Not only would he have had his legendary skyhook, but he'd also be a 3-point shooter. It's not quite Halloween yet, but that's terrifying. He'd essentially be a 7-foot Stephen Curry. Curry. Of all the shots LeBron has made in his career, around 16% are three-pointers. Kareem is a center and had his patented skyhook. We'll assume Kareem wouldn't go crazy and jack up threes. Let's say of Kareem's makes, 5% were threes, a percentage slightly above Michael Jordan's 4.7% made threes. If Kareem Abdul-Jabbar made 5% of his made shots as threes instead of twos, he would have scored 39,178 points in his career, 527 points ahead of LeBron's current total, but not ahead of Michael Jordan's dream total. What about Kareem's total at 10% made threes and 15% made threes? His totals at those percentages, 39,926 points and 40,921 points, still leaving him sitting behind Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is insane, even in Dreamland, but so too is LeBron. Look at MJ's stats compared with LeBron's. Do you notice anything interesting? How about the fact that Michael Jordan and LeBron are separated by exactly 2 assists per game? LeBron James isn't a scorer according to NBA fans. I'm going to make him one. I'm going to take those 2 assists per game from LeBron and convert them to made baskets. LeBron has played 1,421 games over his career, meaning that he now has 2,842 new made buckets. LeBron makes 10 shots a game, 1.6 are three-pointers and 8.4 are two-pointers. Of the 2,842 assists that LeBron has converted to made field goals, 16% are threes, equaling 1,363 points. 84% are twos, resulting in 4,774 points. When we add it all up, LeBron would currently be at 44,791 points, putting his total well above MJ and Kareem's real-life totals, as well as MJ and Kareem's Dreamland totals. Even if we turn Kareem Abdul-Jabbar into Stephen freaking Curry, converting 40% of his made baskets into three-pointers, LeBron would still be ahead of him in terms of all-time scoring in Dreamland. In LeBron Dreamland, it would take real point total Michael Jordan nearly 6 seasons to reach LeBron's total if we used MJ's average points per season. It would take 5 seasons if we used MJ's median season total points. And if MJ had his best season ever, it would take MJ over 4 seasons to catch LeBron's total. I guess LeBron James being the all-time leading scorer in NBA history is a canon event. In Fantasyland, a simulation, or reality, neither Michael Jordan nor Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could pass LeBron in total points scored all time. And all of this tells me that those who say LeBron James isn't a scorer are right. Even with the added responsibility LeBron has on a nightly basis on a basketball court, LeBron still managed to break a 38-year record. LeBron James is not a scorer. He's so much more than that. Thank you for your time.